Good evening, welcome to the Worcester School Committee.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Good evening, welcome to the Worcester School Committee, and if you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. I to the flag.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Present.
Member Biancaria? Member Benenda?
Present.
Member Guardiola?
Here.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Here.
Member Mailman?
Here.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Here. Okay, Kathy Rory had a family emergency, she couldn't be here tonight. Okay, and we have Student Advisory Committee items. So we introduce, Austin, do you want to introduce yourself and what school you're from? And yes, hit the button there, yep.
So, I want to say good afternoon to everyone. And my name is Arsen Mauritian, and I'm from Finance and Marketing Department at Worcester Technical High School. And currently, I'm the new representative of the school committee, and I'm very excited to be here. And I'm very thankful for the warm welcoming from everyone. And yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you and welcome. I look forward to seeing you every so often here at the school committee. Thank you. Okay, we'll take a roll call on the consent agenda.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria? Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman? Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, we have a motion is to suspend the rules and go to public comment. All those, we'll take a roll call. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria? Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, so we'll have we'll go to public comment now, and you have 2 minutes. Just your name, city of residence, and item number.
Oh, I'm not going to lie, I don't remember what the item number was. My apologies.
That's okay, just the subject
So my
matter.
name is Melissa Verdier. I live on Dixfield Road in Worcester. I'm also here as the president of the Educational Association of Worcester. Good evening, Mayor Petty, Superintendent Allen, and school committee members. I wanted to say that this is in July, it was the beginning of my 4th year as the EAW president. And this time I've had the opportunity to establish and maintain very collaborative working relationships with members of the administration of the Worcester Public Schools. At the end of last year, we started talking about the work the grading committee had done and the things that were coming out of that. We were told these were guidelines and highly suggested. Over the summer, as I enjoyed my time on the beach, it was brought to my attention that there was a grading policy on the school committee agenda for the 14th. Unfortunately, because I was away, I was unable to join the meeting that night and wanted to take some time tonight to speak. So, as I said, it was a surprise to see that it was on the agenda as a policy that was going to be voted on. This had not gone into any negotiations. We had sent a demand to bargain. I appreciate that that was taken into consideration before a vote was had. And we have met once, we have not met again, and I do believe we have a lot of work to do around this. When that vote was first brought to the school committee, it was 7 days before the start of the school year. I don't know about every secondary educator, but I can speak for a lot of them and say that we have a lot of things in place before we start school when we're that close. We have our syllabi are done. We're looking to do our grading. And as of right now, we are going to continue negotiating, and I do appreciate that and kind of slowing things down. But one of our concerns is that the WEA-TV platform that we use for student information is locked into a percentage for grading of a 60-40, or actually a 60-30-10, and that is something that many members in the association are very uncomfortable with, and that is all. I just made it.
Okay. Is your name and city of residence?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christine Mushin. I'm a Worcester resident and a special educator up at South High and the first vice president of the EAW, and I'd like to just share a few thoughts in addition to Melissa's. All teachers want accurate grades. I've spoken with high school teachers, members of the original grading equity team, and attended the bargaining session on this topic. Everyone agrees that since MCAS has been eliminated, we need a consistent system to report student competencies to the state. But teachers also agree that rolling out the policy without clear explanation, training, and time will result in resistance, frustration, and ultimately inaccurate data. Right now, the proposal feels more like a way to quickly meet state requirements than a plan that supports classrooms. It doesn't fit AP, special ed, Chapter 74 programs. It conflicts with existing teacher contract language since it adds significant workload in grading and feedback. The proposal also falls short on equity. Simply saying no grade will fall below a 40 does not address the equity in grading. Mastery grading done properly does not count homework or classwork in its assessments, yet this policy does. Placing these steps in the learning process in an arbitrary 30% bucket will only lower grades unfairly when students don't resubmit work. I encourage the members of this committee to read the information that you have been sent and research the districts in Rochester, Kansas City, and Chicago that have implemented a comprehensive grading policy as a collective process in which all stakeholders come to the table, teachers, administrators, principals, and the union, to make sure that all stakeholders have their needs met for the betterment of students. I would also suggest that we ask how other Massachusetts districts are meeting their reporting obligations. The EAW, under Melissa's leadership, has partnered with this administration in good faith for the past 3 years. We want that relationship to continue, but we must take the time to develop a grading system that is consistent, comprehensive, and truly equitable to all students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? I have something. Okay, we'll come down the line in a second. Send one more person here. Is your name, city of residence?
Hi, good evening. My name is Dina Tedeschi. I'm a Worcester resident. I'm also a parent of a Worcester Public School graduate and a current 8th grader. Just wanted to take a moment to say thank you and welcome to the new school year for all those families out there again, and hope everyone's had a great start, and we want to appreciate all the great work that Mr. Allen and his team have put in place to make that a smooth transition, I think, for many, many families. I just want to make a comment this evening regarding GB 5-82. I was able to speak at the August 14th meeting regarding this as well for the cell phone policy. Really want to strongly encourage the school committee to consider a lot of different factors and to really put the community, the parents, the caregivers, and the students into the communication pool regarding this to make sure that there's good coverage and understanding of what will really be practical. And at the August 14th meeting, I mentioned my daughter had some comments. I did submit those to the clerk today for sharing with the school committee as we added a little bit of information to it, and that's from a student perspective. The other piece I'd like to share in information is parents, scholars, and community members are concerned and may have misunderstood some recent publicity regarding ICE and immigration policies. Families need reassurance that ICE will not be allowed into schools unless they have a signed judicial warrant that is presented to the district first. There's a lot of concern, and I'm sure attendance is taken into consideration at the beginning of the school year, and families that are fearful may not be sending their children to school, or children may not be able to go to school for those reasons. So I want to just add that into there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we have two more. Okay. You want to go online? We have one more person. We have a Zoom user.
Hi, yes, my name is Heather Stanek. I'm a Worcester resident, Worcester Public School parent, and community organizer for the Worcester Education Justice Alliance. I'd like to reiterate what Dina said. I would just like to say that I know that the Worcester Public School policy has not changed regarding ICE in schools. I know that it is still absolutely the district's policy to not cooperate with ICE as far as that is legally possible. I think that because fear is so heightened that things got taken out of turn and people misunderstood what was said. But I think just having a very clear, concise statement sent out saying that, you know, ICE will not be allowed in schools unless they have a signed judicial warrant. I'm not sure what the process is, but I think I heard something around making sure that the central administration has verified that signed judicial warrant with legal, but that might help to allay some fears to just give our scholars the best possible outcome and start to the school year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is your name, Senior President, item number?
Good evening. My name is Walter Shea, 98 Calumet Ave, Worcester. I want to thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. I'm involved with an organization called the American Political Items Collectors. Each quarterly, we have an event up in Haverhill, Massachusetts, and over the years, the attendance has been really low. So I made a suggestion to the organization: why don't we have it in Worcester? I can get you a hall 2 minutes off of 290. I can get you, which has ample parking, and the location is St. Bernard's Gymnasium off of Lincoln Street. This organization has about 16,000 members nationwide. The big annual convention is going to be in Danvers next year, and so as a prelude to the national convention, I felt that Worcester would be an ideal place to expose Worcester, the organization to Worcester, with the crowd that they have expected. I've taken the liberty to pass it around some of the items that will be displayed at the event. The event is from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 27th. Also, there are numerous vendors that attend the event, but they also go out into their communities, into the schools, whether it's the grammar schools, high schools, or colleges or community college, to show what they have in the history that they collected over the years. It's a rewarding, it's something that the schools system doesn't teach, but it's a great exposure to what the history of collecting and remembering what it's all about, to be a participant in the organization. One other item that I'd like to pass around, it's from the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, and it was printed in 1916, where it said Charles Hughes was elected to the presidency, but unbeknownst to the Telegram and Gazette, Woodrow Wilson beat him instead of... It's similar to what happened to Dempsey in...
Oh, yeah. Truman?
Truman.
Yep. Thank you.
If you could expose those to the, and pass those flyers out, that'd be helpful. Thank you very much.
September 27th. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Is your name, city residence, and the item number?
Ann Bureau, Worcester, Mass. I'm sorry, I don't have the item number.
That's
I just
okay.
wanted general comments. I'm here to just support the continuation of the current strategic plan for the Worcester Public Schools, which means so much to the community, that took so much community input, that focuses on equity, inclusion, a sense of belonging. Also want to just mention we know the Worcester Public Schools has a a good policy around ICE and the response to that, but the community, we've heard from the community some fears around wanting to know more about that policy, people wanting to know that they're going to be safe, especially with what might be coming down. So just additional messaging to the community about, how the schools will be keeping families safe. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Okay. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. We'll close that part of the meeting. We'll go back to G, and we have 5-70, high school mastery-based grading practice information, proposed mastery-based grading practices written policy. We can send this to School Committee Member Johnson.
Thank you to the chair. So I know we held this. There's been a lot of back and forth in regards to this. In numerous conversations, I'm very, very frustrated and confused on where the disconnect here is in regards to where we're going with this. When we talk about equity-based grading and mastery grading for our students in the Worcester Public Schools and the population we serve, I believe it's very, very important. And I think we really need to take a step back and look at the core of who this is impacting, and it's our students here in the Worcester Public Schools. So I think as a body, I think we need to really get to work along with administration and working with the AW on resolving this issue, and let's move this forward, because I believe this is best for the district. Because what I'm hearing is it's not about whether or not this is a good grading policy. What I'm hearing is there's some things regarding back and forth on percentages and numbers and other things like that. I mean, I'm not sure how much that can't be resolved and figured out in very short order in order for us to move this forward. So I'm going to make two motions here. My first motion is to refer this part to FOG to review and approve the district's proposed mastery-based grading policy and the district's proposed new competency determination policy. Send that to FOG, and then also to send to TLSS to discuss how the district's proposed mastery grading practices will align with state's new graduation requirements that will require students to demonstrate a mastery of skills in English, language arts, mathematics, science, and the satisfactory completion of relevant coursework. So those are my two motions, is to send these two things back, one to FOG and one to TLSS. As we're aware that Worcester Public Schools, we're obligated to put forth our competency determination plan to DESE by December 31st of this year. And that, along with the mastery grading policy and equity grading or whatever, is linked, and it goes hand in hand on what we're trying to do here at the district. So the expectation is that we come back to something in those committees prior to December 31st, so we could get that to the full school committee, so we could get these both approved and moved along. And I just have one question to administration in regards to kind of what I just talked about regarding connecting the links here, whatever. Can you kind of just give some background on the work you guys did and how that relates to the competency determination? Thank you.
Certainly. So as you spoke through the chair, we are developing the competency determination recommendation that will come to the school committee soon for your review and then ultimately approval. Now, with regards to the grading policy, we've been working for a number of years with pilot schools and pilot teachers on the grading policy. We certainly understand some concerns, but we believe that the grading policy is important to move forward and have equity across every classroom. And so that different schools and all the classrooms are measuring student mastery the same. And as you mentioned, I think it's important to tie the two of them to the new graduation requirement, which will be effective for this year's graduating class of 26. We have a strong collaboration, as mentioned, with the EAW, and we appreciate their feedback and input into this process, and we'll continue to work with them on implementation and the feedback on all aspects of our work. But what we would hope to do is proceed with training and implementation of the plan with principals and focused instructional coaches, and then followed by school-based training. We also want to work with students and families on the grading policy as well. We'll do that concurrent to work with FOG and TLSS.
Thank you. And my next question is so when you talk about moving forward with kind of implementation in regards to this, you know, when we talk about it, and I had this conversation with numerous people today, when we talk about it, I think we need some type of floor here to kind of guide us on where we're going, so we could kind of make some determinations on whether or not, whether that 60, 30, 10 actually works, or if we need to move to something else. And I do just want to bring up that, you know, there are a couple motions out there, one by member B. Carrier regarding trainings for our educators moving forward in regards to this, and then also a motion that I had made in regards to a report on the grading policy and feedback from educators in each school, multiple subjects at a regular session school committee meeting, and then as well as any training moving forward for our middle school educators and principals, with the plan that we'll be rolling this out in the middle schools in school year 26-27. So those motions are still there. I think we know that we really need to kind of take a look at this and ensure that whatever we need to work out, that we work out and make sure that we roll this out the right way and it's implemented the right way. I think we're all in agreement of that, but I also think that there needs to be some work in the meantime and around that. We have to be able to gauge, Mr. Chair, where we are at and whether or not this is going to work to be able to tweak that. As we all know, that every year we look at the policy, so we will be bringing this back up in May and June anyway in FOG to discuss all our policies, and my guess is this will be one of the major topics if we have to make any changes to it. So that would be my last comment. I don't know if you want to kind of...
Through the chair, we agree with you. We actually have a comprehensive training plan ready to go, which starts with training principals, then instructional coaches, and then ultimately down to the school-based level. We do want to engage students and families in that training as well once we, get the principals' feedback, coaches' feedback, and then start working with the classroom teachers at the school level.
All set? Member Benenda?
Thank you for this. I've done a lot of reading, on what this means, as I said the last time we brought this up. And, since then I've had a lot of conversation with teachers. And one of the things is that teachers that are well prepared have already done their Google Classrooms. They've already sent out to students how they're going to decide on their grades. So it's difficult in order to get teachers' confidence in this, where it didn't start right in the beginning, and we held it, so that's probably one of the reasons why it didn't start in the beginning. So I looked at it. I think, I know Magdalena Gagnes did a lot of work on this. She did a great job on it. My concern, and this since yesterday, that I was thinking about it when Mr. Allen and I met and had a conversation about this, is that it's hard to say we're going to approve it and then go forward with it when we haven't had an agreement with the union on exactly what are we approving. So I think that's a major point. I do think that we can train. I saw the timeline. We've already missed what we had set up to begin in July and August. We certainly can train principals. They're not part of the union. I'm just wondering what we'll train them on when we haven't had an agreement on what the policy is going to be. So I think this needs to go to committee, and I think it needs to go to teaching and learning. A lot of things run away to FOG on us that really do need to go in teaching and learning. So I would like to make a recommendation that we do not approve this tonight, that it goes to teaching and learning, and the district works with the union also on an agreement with the idea that we try to get this done as quickly as possible so that the work can go forward and we can have equitable grading for our students.
It's pretty
Thank
much,
you.
it's similar to what, I think it's similar to what Member Johnson just asked.
Yeah, through the chair,
It's the same,
half of it's going to go to teaching and learning, the other half is going to go to FOG.
That's fine.
My motion wasn't to approve anything tonight, it was for them to go back to separate committees, because we take up the policy portion, so that's why we send in the policy portion to FOG.
okay.
So through the chair, so could it go to teaching and learning first and then after go to FOG?
We can do it at the same time, right? The policy is the policy, and the education part's the education part.
But I don't know how that would work.
Okay.
If it can go to both at the same time, I guess we could
Yeah,
try
yeah,
that.
that's what we're gonna do. I know you do, Member Millman.
Thank you. I was going to ask if Member Johnson would accept that friendly motion to send all of it to TLSS so that TLSS would then send the policy to FOG. I don't know how I agree. I don't know how we have a policy before we go through this work, and I think it's important work. So I would be in favor of the friendly motion if you would consider that, or another motion by Member Benenda. But I have one other question.
Before
On
we
the
go, what if we just,
WEDU,
what if we send it to TLSS, right?
send the whole thing to TLSS.
No, the FOG could wait till you're done for your recommendations, and it works.
There's
Same
nothing
thing.
there until it goes to
Right,
TLSS.
exactly. Okay. Go
So
ahead.
I would recommend that we send the whole thing there. I just wanted to ask through the chair to the superintendent, the question that got brought up on the floor about how the WEDU setting is that, I'm ignorant of that. What was the setting last year? And is that something that should be reset until this policy is determined?
Through the chair, we'll take a look at all of that as we work, continue to work with the EAW on the policy.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Member Johnson?
Thank you. To the chair, I have no problems with the amendment, and they want to send it all to TLSS. My one concern is that we're aware that they have to send over the competency determination thing to DESE by December 31st, 2025. So whatever happens in TLSS, that work needs to get done to be able to get over to us in FOG, to be able to do the work in FOG, to get it back out to the full committee to get this done.
Okay.
That's all.
Alex, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, as chair of the TLSS subcommittee, I understand the priority of this and how the time is of the essence. So I would prioritize this right away. If it
Okay.
comes to TLSS first, to make sure that it gets to FOG shortly thereafter. Thank you.
Okay, so send it to TLSS, and I just want to thank everybody who's putting this together. It's a good program, but we are going to work with EAW to make sure this gets done. We need to get this done together and quickly, so, okay. No, okay, real quick. Only because this is important.
We have a full negotiations that we need to get done, so we really don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I see it being done very quickly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to work together, and this, Member Biancaria?
Thank you. So who works with EAW to establish what needs to be done to make this work and get done by December 31st?
Mr. Allen?
Through the chair, so the administration has ongoing standing meetings with EAW every week, and so we'll just fold it into our ongoing work with them.
So when they work with EAW, they're not looking at the whole piece. They don't see the policy, they don't see what the guideline practices are because they're not established if they haven't gone to the committee and then sent over to the other committee. Am I correct on that?
The chair, no, I think the EAW is fully aware what's in the policy. Those are the conversations we're having with them and working with them through the nuances of their concerns.
But if the policy changes, what occurs then?
Well, we don't have the policy yet. It's going to come.
Right, that's my point. My point is.
Still going to work together.
Okay, so it first goes to one committee.
Yeah.
Gets sent to FOG.
Yeah.
And then you have to establish some relationship with EAW to discuss it, because there isn't a policy at this point in time, correct?
Through the chair, there's a draft policy that's been recommended. EAW has a copy of that. We're working with them on any recommendations and changes that they're proposing.
Okay, so then they would have to bring it back to the committee with the proposed changes?
Based on the work we do with the EAW, the administration will bring something back to the committee.
Okay, so during that time frame, we still would not have a full policy, is what I'm getting at, because it hasn't been approved, correct?
Through the chair, correct.
Okay, so we have a couple of months to get it all in order, is what I'm saying.
Through the chair, we have our couple months to get our graduation requirement in order. This is a piece of that, but it's not the whole piece.
No, it's not the whole piece. So we still have other parts.
We
of
have other
this
work
that
to
have
do.
actually get accomplished. Okay.
All set? Okay.
I'm actually, I guess I'll do to the chair. I guess I'll do the amendment, but I'm struggling with FOG, FOG governance deals with policy. So the policy piece to this, I don't understand what that has to do with TLSS. The competency piece, I could see it, but the policy piece, because the work in TLSS, they shouldn't be doing work on a policy. The administration, once they work with the EAW, will come back with a new written policy or updated policy based on the draft that we have here and submit it to FOG, and we would then go through it and approve it and then send it out to the floor. That's where I'm confused. That's why I asked for it to go to 2 different committees. But if, I don't understand, I'm trying to figure this out, but to make everything easy, let's just send it to TLSS.
Yeah.
They could do whatever they want and send it over to
They'll
FOG.
send it over to
But the
FOG.
one thing is that they shouldn't be doing work on the policy, because
They're
that's not the work that should be done in that committee.
Absolutely correct. We'll see if they do that or not. Okay? Okay, so get it done. Okay, so send that to TLSS. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. Okay. Next item is request of the Worcester Public Schools change the current cell phone policy to align with the new proposed bell-to-bell cell phone policy voted by the Mass Senate, currently in the Mass House. Recommend by the governor, implement the new policy for Worcester Public Schools for the 25-20 school 6th year. I don't think they've passed anything yet, have they?
It hasn't.
No. Member Benenda?
So through the chair, that has not passed through the House yet. So can it still stay on hold?
Or we can just send it to the, we can send it to the FOG. But go ahead. Do you have an answer for that, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
To the chair, I have a motion to file that item due to the fact is, this is just me, I have no plans on implementing a change to the current cell phone policy that we currently have this school year, and due to the fact that nothing's been taken up in the state that we could even take up and discuss.
So we can file it.
I think we could,
And then
if
bring it
that were to
back.
happen, we could then bring it back.
Yeah.
Right.
Will you file it to bring it back when you pass it? Member Benenda? Is that fine?
Up through the chair, so would we be waiving the 90 days on that?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
I'm in agreement.
Okay. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay, let's get to the business of the meeting now. We have report of the superintendent. Action opening schools at 25-26 school year. Looks like it's going pretty well so far. So, did I miss something or? No, we're good? Okay. Mr. Allen?
Thank you. Through the chair, the administration is pleased to give a school opening report for the 25-26 school year. Overall, the first week of school, when we submitted this, was smooth across the board. Credit to teaching and learning team for having materials and plans ready for school opening, to finance and operations for having buses, buildings, and school meals, Chromebooks, and supply budgets ready, to human resources for the onboarding of employees to be ready for the first day of school, to communications for keeping families, staff, and the community up to date over the summer on WPS activities, and particularly to principals, assistant principals, coaches, teachers, and school staff for having systems, structures, courses, and materials ready for the first day of school. Tonight, we will cover an overview of the opening of the school year, including trainings and the district leadership convening, an update on safety enhancement, operation updates, and systems improvement, receive an update on preliminary student enrollment, staffing, and an introduction to the district and new school leadership. We welcomed almost 25,000 students to school on Monday, August 25th. We thank the Hurd Street School staff for allowing us, along with almost every media outlet from Worcester and Boston, and a few players from the Holy Cross football team, to join them for the annual red carpet event to welcome students back to school. A week prior, school and district leaders gathered at Doherty High School for the annual leadership convening session. There we presented the Vision to Action framework for the year, had an exceptional keynote address by Adam Braun, and took a moment to reminisce with a walk down memory lane featuring yearbook photos. We're extremely happy that so many people participated in the event, including members of the school committee who also submitted their yearbook photos. As discussed in my entry plan slides from last month, one of the guiding principles for this year is unified leadership, where the central office will work and operate as one team, breaking down silos in the service to schools. Also part of the entry plan, I have met one-on-one with all central office and cabinet level leaders, and to learn about their roles, identify their strengths, and begin building a unified team culture. I've met one-on-one with every building principal to learn strength, needs, and resource gaps of each school. Consistently heard from building principals were around the strong climate and culture developed at their schools. They are focused on Tier 1 instruction with strategies for multilingual and students with disabilities. Strong support of our QT model and of supportive schools, and the appreciation of staying the course to allow the work to deepen around instructional practices. Consistently, the district administration had expressed their commitment to support schools and further improve systems, structures, and communication. As you know, I plan to visit every school in the district in the first month of school, prioritizing walkthroughs of classrooms to observe instruction and learning environments. As of tonight, I've visited 26 schools and locations, including the Parent Information Center, since last Monday. I want to commend the principals and teachers at the schools visited so far. I have seen across the schools instruction that was engaging and purposeful, co-teaching strategies of multilingual and special education teachers in classroom that met the needs of our diverse learners, classroom discourse that was rich, assessments were ongoing, students were active participants in content, the learning environment was inclusive, respectful, and supportive. Technology and resources are used strategically, enhancing, not replacing, meaningful instruction. I saw cultural and linguistic diversity being celebrated, and the joy in teaching and learning was evident, with curiosity, exploration, and a sense of accomplishment driving the classroom culture. We know we have hard work ahead, our vision to action, but great instruction is happening with the schools. We are seeing that in some of the assessment data, and our rhythm is building strong momentum. Initial overall enrollment is trending slightly higher than last year. Kindergarten and pre-K began August 28th. Head Start begins on September 15th. As of last week, preliminary kindergarten enrollment is slightly lower than last year, with official enrollment finalized with the October 1 submittal to DESE. We've had the largest attendance at the Countdown to Kindergarten event since 2017. So, as the person who has done the enrollment projections and presentations for the past 25 years, if you've ever wondered why we give preliminary or enrollment trends during this report every year, it's because October 1 is truly just a snapshot of time. While October 1 is the date that the state uses for districts for their official enrollment levels for this year, and is the basis of funding for next school year, I want to give an example of how Worcester's enrollment changes each day using last year's school data. Between the first day of school last year and October 1st, the district enrolled an average of 125 new students each day, while we also unenrolled 46 students each day during that same period. From October 1 until the end of the school year last year, we enrolled an average of 12 students every day, while we unenrolled an average of 8 students every day. So while we were 24,778 students enrolled in the school district last October 1, that was the only day that we actually had 24,778 students enrolled in the district. So our initial trends are overall higher than last year, but we'll know our enrollment and will continue change over the next few weeks until October 1st. With regards to student transportation, bus routes were published on August 1st, well ahead of prior years. The department is fully staffed to operate 104 bus routes, an increase from 101 routes last year. The Transportation Department hosted a statewide electric bus event showcasing our soon-to-be 20 electric buses being integrated into our fleet this fall. Transportation Department also partnered with the Worcester Police on a safety training exercise on school buses this summer. Looking ahead, there are many enhancements to our technology upcoming that will significantly improve the MyStop bus application, allow for students to swipe on and off of buses, and provide a better communication platform to support families during route changes and any emergencies. The other operation departments were also busy this summer with the ongoing window replacement at Worcester East Middle, window repairs at Union Hill, parking garage improvements at Worcester Technical High School, the upgrades to the Roosevelt parking, ADA upgrades at both Thorndike Road and Lincoln Street School. Significant upgrades to lock and door hardware and improvements to the intercom system have occurred throughout the district. We've deployed 6,000 Chromebooks at the middle schools with more durable design, along with around 160 Chromebook carts. We reallocated 3,500 Chromebooks to provide increased availability for all school locations. This summer, approximately 40,000 breakfast and lunch meals were provided to our children at over 20 citywide locations. The Nutrition Department has initiated a first phase of a school-based equipment assessment and began department discussions to create a plan to standardize equipment for future replacement schedules using school nutrition revenue. A systems improvement for this year, our vision to action in communications, is to develop protocols, implement a staff newsletter, and improve communication efficiency through procedure implementation. We'll do this through improvements in our internal and external communication strategies. Our internal communication will increase information sharing with staff, reduce over-communication, and streamline information shared. One example of this will be eliminating multiple department newsletters into a single weekly newsletter for schools, so principals have all of the information updates they need from one source, and allowing them to share information with school staff in a more coordinated manner. Our external communication work will be to enhance communication, increase effective multilingual communication, and prioritize alignment to vision to action. We are still in the process of filling some position, and as of last week, we are 97.3% staffed at elementary level and 96.5% staffed at the secondary level. Schools, departments, and human resources had a busy summer as well. It onboarded 303 new hires so far, with the largest being teachers and paraeducators. We are pleased to announce that we had 15 district-level position promotions or upgrades, 13 new principal appointments or location changes, 17 assistant principal appointments, 12 focused instructional coach appointments, and 5 dean appointments. Dr. Koo will introduce these school and district leaders to you at this time.
Through the chair, thank you, Superintendent Allen. So I have the privilege every year to announce all of our new leaders, and many of them are here with us tonight. In the ROS, there's also a presentation where if they're not here tonight, you get to see their beautiful, not high school pictures, but recent pictures that they submitted. So as I say your name, and again, we talked about some of these are promotions, some of these are going from acting to actual positions, some of these are newly acting positions. I'll just read them all. If you can just stand and wave really quickly as I go through it. It would be wonderful. So these are the district leadership promotional positions. Jeff Creamer, the Director of Culture and Climate. Michael Freeman, Administrative Director of Operations. Kelsey Lamoureux, Assistant Director for College and Career Readiness. Emily Lehman, Administrative Director of College and Career Readiness. Jason Medeiros, our Turnaround Manager. Patty Padilla, Director of Student Placement. Tara Thompson, Administrative Director of Finance. I should have said, let's hold our applause till the end. Timothy Williams, Assistant Director of Informational Technology. Magdalena Gagnes, Administrative Director of School Compliance and Improvement. Chris Chisonis, Executive Director of the South Quadrant. Our Teaching and Learning Promotions for Supervisors and District Focused Instruction Coaches. Kate Asselton, Timmery Leary, Jean Lindquist Grady, Colleen Murray, Maritza Perez Brown, Colleen Santon, Julie Stanley. These are our principal promotions. Megan Bourget, Kelly Boyd, Tara Dexter, Emily Kokansky, Christopher Lebrecq, Angela LaRose, Amanda Martinez, Erin McMahon, Liz Merchant, Olga Papadopoulos, Rachel Savage, Mary Seeley, Christina Toriano. These are our assistant principal promotions. Tammy Bailey, Karen Benson, Elizabeth Burns, Josh Cohen, Megan Cook, Elizabeth Driscoll, Jessica Joyce, Dan Little, Haley Longbottom, John Mendez, Jason O'Connell, Joey Padilla, Enza Rasic, Christine Sawyer, Julie Taka, Rashida Tatum, Emily Zavala. These are our dean promotions. Steve Azamora, Lisa Gatsodianis, Rich Houlihan, Booker Lester, and Pat Williams. And we also have our focus instructional coaches, Danielle Capelucci, Stephanie Booth, Kelly Brimmer, Kat Shivrick, Claire Carter, Aaron McTee, Lindsay Perry, Angela Pilata, Carrie Plant, Renee Power, Veronica Wheeler, and Shivani Taylor. So again, thank you for coming out. For those of you who are here tonight, I know it's a very, very exhausting second week of school, so we appreciate you being here, and we hope to see your faces here in future school committee meetings. So, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes the report of the superintendent.
Okay, any questions? Member Mailman? Member Carey?
Just a couple. The easier one first, maybe. Do you have any comparison, or does anybody have comparison of the summer feeding for this year to last year? Did we improve? Did we feed more kids? Does anybody here?
Through the chair, we can get you a report on that.
Thank you. And then the second item is on enrollment. You know, if the state is going to, through the chair to the superintendent, if the state is going to take a look at funding models and different ways to do it, since this is your thing, like, what would you recommend the state do instead of maybe the October 1st traditional date?
Through the chair, so I think different states use different models. Some use an average attendance rate for the year, and some use a October 1 type date, and then do an adjustment midway through the year, but they don't take money away if you go down in enrollment. So those, I think, are legitimate conversations we should have as part of what I'm going to call SOA 2, in terms of how we're capturing enrollment numbers, particularly in communities like ours, where you could see an enrollment during the year, but don't have the resources to properly support the students.
So would you think it would be the average, or would you think about you would think about October 1st and then maybe later in the year? And if the number goes down, not to be penalized, is that?
As of today, that would be my preferred method, but we certainly can.
We'll see.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Carrier?
Thank you. Couple of questions. First of all, thank you. Certainly informative and tracking of what we did this summer. I will say, I don't know the numbers. I know my colleague asked about numbers and the success. I can tell you that the visits I made to different parks and so on, they were very busy. They had a lot of fun. It really was worthwhile to have it. 40,000, I think was the number you said,
Yes.
which is terrific. And to me, it seemed like an increase from last year, but that just may be how we're looking at things as far as the volume that was there. My questions pertain to facility safety and technology first, and that is, we have a lot of staff members that use walkie-talkies during the day. Is that something we're looking at as not only repairing, but updating in the next scale of things?
Through the chair, through the chair, so twofold. The first priority is really improving intercom systems in their schools so there's less dependence, in some cases, on walkie-talkies.
Right.
That's kind of a secondary means of communication. But yes, we're constantly working with schools as they need more or improved walkie-talkies. We're providing those through the school safety budget as well.
The most important part of it that I see and that I've been told is that during recess time, the walkie-talkies are definitely a tool that everybody needs, because you're looking at not only the recess area, but the surrounding area. And if there's any issues, they want to be able to report immediately to the office, and that would be their way of communication.
Through the chair, so through the chair, the primary objective and priority based on our guidepost report is to work on improving the non-working intercom systems, but also for communication to have functional walkie-talkies as well.
Okay, thank you. And then I did have a question on, we had looked at North High School and we said that there was going to be an associate principal. Is it possible I can get some notes on that? Because from what I have been told, discussing things with not only teachers but staff members, that there is a variety of activity going on. And originally, I was under the impression when this came through that that position for North was supposed to be able to help them with everything. So I'm not quite sure how that ended up. If we could have some feedback on that, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Through the chair, so we've we're using a title that I think was created under a prior administration called turnaround manager for that position, not the associate principal. We felt that leaving school autonomy at the school is important, but to provide a district level support person around turnaround practices was important. So we filled it as a turnaround manager. The position was created years ago, it just was never filled, but we're using the state money for North High Improvement to fund the position. It is going to be primarily located at North High and will assist the other schools in their turnaround practices as well. But primarily we'll be working on improvement at North High.
We had discussed this at length, and that was one of the schools that we looked at as saying that they needed some real support. And I certainly want to see that for 25, 26 at that high school. I think we have a lot of kids there. We have good staff there. We just need to narrow it down a little, give some guidance.
Through the chair, so the funding we received from DESE is a 3-year grant. So certainly the position will be funded for 3 years, and then we would look for sustainability of continuing it beyond that 3-year period.
Okay. And then lastly, at Worcester Technical High School, besides the parking garage repairs, I know that we are also looking at the veterinary department, and that is increased. I realize it's not under our dollars, but at some point, if we could get some details on that. I've seen it personally, but I thought the public should know that, you know, it's really coming along and everything seems to be falling into place, and it's new mechanics for everyone, I guess.
Through the chair, so fundraising is, through the chair, fundraising through external sources is still going on. We certainly can fold in updates to that project as part of the quarterly finance facilities updates we do at FOG.
Okay. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you to Mr. Allen, you want to speak? Sorry, go ahead. Member Johnson?
Thank you. To the chair, I stepped out for a second. I don't want to repeat the question. Did anyone ask regarding, a question regarding retention stuff? No? So I just have a question through the chair to administration. In regards to resignations, 226, was that for the total of last year?
Dr. Q?
Through the chair, yes, that is correct, and that encompasses everything, including retirement, folks who leave in the middle of the year, folks who we've asked to leave, and so it's the whole composite number.
So the 220, so the total loss was 312? No, 332, is it? I don't know what it is. 226 and 66 retirements, is that correct?
The 226 is encompassing of the 66. So we were separating it because the state doesn't recognize retention as retirement or resignation. So we just parsed it out so that we can make a distinction between folks who actually retired versus folks who are leaving us. So we can target the folks who are leaving us and trying to figure out why they were leaving.
Okay. Through the chair to administration, the 226 resignations, for whatever reason they are, is that high? Would we consider that high based on like any trend or anything that we've seen?
Through the chair, that's actually lower than it's been.
Lower? Okay. And I think we talked about this before, through the chair to administration. I know you guys try to do like exit interviews and that kind of stuff. How did we capture that through the chair?
Through the chair, we do have exit interviews, and I believe Member Medina had asked about a report from that. We currently have 55 folks already who've responded to our interviews, and many times we'll ask if they would like for us to reach out to them, and we do attempt to reach out to them if they say yes. So again, I'm happy to share the number data, not the qualitative pieces, but it gives us a better understanding of where we need to go.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Again, I just want to thank everybody for a great start in the school year, the last 2 weeks, and tell you the truth, I get no complaints, so it worked out pretty well, and so I want to say thank you, especially the bus transportation, and 2 years in a row, so I appreciate that, and so keep up the great work, it's been a great year. So with that, we're going to recommend to approving the file. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. We have approval of grants and the finance items. We have a roll call. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, general business, a request the administration provide an update and details pertaining to the Gerald Kramer evening program, which is being relocated to the Worcester Technical High School. Please include transportation, number of staffing, course offerings, how many students will be offered this program, timeframe of courses, start date, and this program going to the promoted in our schools. Member Biancaria?
Thank you. I certainly look forward to the report. Quick question prior to, and that is, Gerald Kramer will be closed in the evening, is what we're saying at this point in time. There'll be no additional program that will be going to that school.
Mr. Allen?
Through the chair, so we'll still operate the day program, but then for evening programs, we are moving that program to Worcester Tech, correct?
Okay. And then it says number of staffing, just out of, so when we determine the staff that is for the evening, that goes blanket out to everyone, correct, as an option? Is that?
Dr. Q?
Through the chair, that is correct. It's an internal posting, which we abide by the union postings for that particular position.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to the information. Thank you.
Yes, we'll send it out to the administration. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Member Mailman?
Thank you. Thank you. If you can just explain kind of the organizational setup for the night program that was on Granite Street that is now going to go to Skyline, what will there be changes to the organizational structure for that program at night school?
Through the chair, so our current plan is to have their own site administrator or program leader for the program to take care of administering the program, and then it will be staffed by the appropriate content teachers. So it will be folded into other night programs that are occurring at the school. It will come under the umbrella of one site administrator, but they will have their own program leader overseeing the evening program.
Okay, so not an additional site administrator, but a program person. And then would you imagine through this is happening like tomorrow, right?
Through the chair, no. Traditionally, the GCC evening program doesn't start until October.
Okay, so October, through the chair, so October. There will be, I heard, you just said that are they going to be participating in other nightlife programs that are there?
Through the chair, not initially, but ultimately, we want to, as part of the work we want to engage this year, is reimagine what adult or older student programs could look like, and introduce potentially CTE opportunities for all of our older learners.
Awesome. I think that's great goals. Through the chair, I just make a motion that we include like current nightlife administrators and supervisors as part of the discussions of this process. And thank you.
Okay, so send those to the member Benenda.
Oh, I just had one question on it. That was about the L's, multilingual. We had quite a few, right, that the adult program that used to be at Fanning, and they were then, last year, there was a lot of multilinguals at the Joe Creamer Center. So will those students, because sometimes they work during the day, right, would they also be included, are the multilingual students that went to the Gerald Creamer program also going to go to Worcester Tech?
Mr. Allen?
So, through the chair, if they're part of the GCC day program, they'll continue to be at the day program. If they're part of the evening program, then they'll have an opportunity to participate GCC evening at Worcester Tech.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, and send that to the administration. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Just want to recognize Tracy Novick, former school committee member in the Holy Cross class. So thank you for coming out, and make sure she gives you good credit. And thank you. Okay, we are next to cancel the school committee meeting on November 6, 2025, because everybody's gone. Everybody goes to that conference, I think, right?
No, the conference is the following week. Election.
Yeah.
It's election, and
Yeah, the conference is the following week.
yeah.
Through the chair, thank you. I think if the conference we're talking about is the MASC conference, then I think, I don't know. We only meet once a month in September. There's a full agenda here. I'm not in favor of canceling the meeting just because it's,
We can move it to the next Thursday.
okay, there's just a problem with that week.
Yeah.
So we'll schedule 2 meetings for November
Yeah. We'll
through
have
the
court,
chair.
we'll have the court contact everybody, no? Okay, just keep it
I
on
don't know
that.
why we're
The conference is the week of the 12th.
Oh, the conference. Okay, I was told that.
Sorry, through the chair, I thought the motion was to cancel that meeting and we would just do one in November. I mean, it's a,
Okay, we can have a roll call then, okay. Motion is to cancel the meeting on November 6th, roll call.
Member Alvarez? Yes. Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
yes.
Member Mailman?
No.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay. To accept the transfer amount, property located at 0 Northeast Cutoff from the city manager. Recommendation is to approve. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next 4 items by Member Roy. She's asked me to hold these to the next meeting, so motion is to hold. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. To approve the second meal breakfast, lunch, snack, and adult meal prices on 2025-2026 school year. Recommendation go to FOG. Member Benenda?
Well, this is always, a tough one because there are students that don't have the money, right, for the second lunch, especially on Mondays. Is there still a way that students can get a second lunch if they're hungry for that?
Through the chair, so we're required by DESE to establish a second meal price. So we never deny a student a second meal should they need one, regardless of financial circumstances. We obviously, as you know, we work with families and so forth, but we would never deny a student a second meal.
Oh, perfect. And then my other question, last question is, at some point at South, I think it was a pilot at the time, we also provided dinner so athletes could come in and get free dinner. That was around 3 o'clock or 4, and it was going to be a pilot that was supposed to be spread through the district because after athletics, kids are hungry, and it worked really well there. Is such a program still going on, or are there any plans to have something like that?
Through the chair, so that is a separate application that we can continue to pursue for programs that are running at night. So we can look at anything that's running at night that would be eligible for that program and offer dinner service as we pilot it at South.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's refer that to FOG. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Let's see here. We have the approval of the report of the superintendent's schedule for the 25-26 school year. Approving the file. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes.
I'm sorry. To the chair, in regards to GB 597, the second mail thing, it was to approve that. I don't think that needs to go to a committee. I think we're just approving
Okay.
that
You can do
thing.
that.
If I-
All right.
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
right? Yeah. So
Because-
I don't know if we need to take a
can
roll
do
call,
that.
or you do.
So we're back and I guess motion to suspend the rules and go back to 5-97. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Motion is, first motion is to suspend the rules, second motion is to reconsider the item. Okay.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Motion to reconsider. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Member Johnson? Motion to approve.
So just on GB 597 to motion to approve that second mail thing?
Okay. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough? Member Roy? Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay. We are on, I believe, 5-99. And to review the status of the fiscal year 26 budget and make appropriate transfers as required. The recommendation is to refer that to FOG. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. And that's it. So motion is to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered.